Welcome to the 26th episode of the Tertius Times podcast. Today is Monday, September 27th, 2021. I'm your host, Brian Wright, and today in the news segment, we will look at natural disasters recently striking Turkey and what possible causes may have precipitated the destruction. There is no interview segment for this week, but I am in communication with someone who has done enormous work on behalf of the persecuted church. God willing, that interview will be available soon. This article, Turkey's Struggle Against Natural Disasters, Wildfires, Drought, Floods, and a Possible Earthquake, September 1st, 2021, from Global Voices, sums up many of the recent disasters in Turkey. Quote, drought in Lake Van caused thousands of flamingos to die in July, while a substance called sea snot, a thick layer of phytoplankton mucus that blocks sunlight, reducing oxygen levels in the sea and potentially destroying marine life, covered the coast of the Marmara Sea for months, making the seashore unusable. Last month, some 240 wildfires raged through Turkey's southern coast. Shortly after the fires, the Black Sea region, particularly the cities of Bartın, Kastamonu, Sinop, and Samsun, were hit by flash floods and mudslides because of torrential rain. As a result, 112 villages in Kastamonu and 86 villages in Sinop were left without electricity, while 6 bridges reportedly collapsed and the region's roads were left in ruins. More than 2,000 people have been displaced and relocated due to the floods. Disaster and Emergency Management Presidency, AFAD, announced that 8,000 personnel, 20 rescue dogs, and a fleet of helicopters were looking for injured people and survivors. According to the most recent information, 82 residents died, with 16 still missing as of August 27th, unquote. And it was nearly a year ago, on October 30th, 2020, that a 7.0 magnitude earthquake near Izmir on the west coast of Turkey killed 114 people and injured more than 1,000. Of course, like all nations around the globe, the COVID pandemic has also been taking its toll. According to Reuters' report on September 21st, 2021, Turkey registered 29,338 new COVID cases, the highest since April 30th. The Global Voices article adds that, quote, climate change, excessive rain, incorrect dam placement, and excess construction near the stream beds contributed to the floods, unquote. Gökçe Sincan, water and climate policy researcher, voiced concern at the quote unquote interconnected ways food and energy needs are affected by drought, and criticized the government for its lack of planning and preparation for the catastrophes that have recently plagued the nation. Others have pointed out coal mining, quote, has been recklessly, unquote, promoted by the government, quote, at the expense of forest land and natural ecosystems, unquote. Speculation has been heightened that the possibility of a disastrous earthquake hitting Istanbul, Turkey's largest city and its financial hub, is becoming more likely each passing day. The last major earthquake to strike the region was in August 1999, which was, quote, a 7.5 magnitude quake that killed 18,000 people and left 250,000 homeless, unquote. The article concludes by pointing out, quote, Turkey has passed 19 zoning amnesty laws since 1948, which grants pardons for a fee to building contractors who fail to meet safety standards. Many of the registered post-earthquake assembly zones for tents and a humanitarian response have disappeared with the construction boom. Additionally, the AKP, the ruling Justice and Development Party, has so far rejected 58 motions by opposition politicians asking for an independent oversight committee to oversee building safety, unquote. The authors of the article, Doa Jelic and Arzu Gebuliyeva, call on the government to, quote, reconsider its approach to environmental safety, unquote. In this related article, Turkish LGBT community to cause natural disasters, says Islamic preacher, September 8, 2021, from Aval, quote, Turkish cleric Ahmet Mahmut Unlu said normalization of homosexuality would lead to disasters and earthquakes in a sermon published on YouTube on Tuesday, unquote. That was September 7th. Apparently, what sparked the outcry was a lesbian playing on the Turkish Olympic volleyball team, quote, which made headlines with its recent success in the Olympics, unquote. Quote, lesbianism is among cardinal sins similar to adultery, Unlu said. Lesbianism and homosexuality are the great sins that may cause great destruction and halak, he added, using a concept from the Quran that means divine perishment due to grave sin. Unlu is, quote, one of the top members, unquote, of a religious sect in the favor of the current Turkish government. It must be pointed out, however, that the Turks suffered great oppression from the brutal Mongol invaders, and the Ottoman Empire was defeated by the Allied forces in World War I. And a 7.9 magnitude earthquake hit the central region of Turkey in Erzincan in 1939, causing the death of nearly 30,000. If Unlu is to be consistent, he must show evidence of LGBT activity, or, I suppose, any type of what he would consider immoral behavior in those incidents as well, if, in fact, that is the reason for those disasters. Based on the information of the previous article, it seems more reasonable to assume the disasters that have hit Turkey were based on government indifference and environmental factors. The main problem with Unlu's comments, however, would be the inspiration he provides to those who accept his view wholeheartedly and seek to rid the country of people they consider problematic and thus spark a potential humanitarian crisis. Pray for Turkey that the disasters the country has recently faced will stop and that the people will turn to God as they experience the horrible destruction and tragic loss of life. Pray for the Turkish government that it will better prepare their country in the event more disasters continue to strike. Pray that the people will remain safe no matter what the future holds. Pray also for leaders like Unlu and those who follow them. They will stop seeking to blame others, which will inevitably lead to persecution and potentially needless death. Pray for the Christians of Turkey that their number remains strong in the face of oppression and that they will also be protected by God's powerful hand. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found the information presented here useful and that it encouraged you to pray for these people in areas of concern and perhaps even inspire you to take positive steps of involvement to alleviate the suffering of so many around the globe. Finally, pray with me that God's peace, eternally beyond our comprehension, guards the hearts and minds of all those who follow Christ and flow outward to bring that peace to all the world.